As an African, I have to say I would love to be here the day that Africa and Africans can be an equal part of the discussion and discourse around global changes, global questions. I fear that not just for Africa, but for the emerging markets, there has been a sense that they have not really been active participants in the global discourse. And I think it's to the detriment of the world as a whole.
I would like to see us and the whole world get serious about climate change. This planet may be a much worse place to inhabit 100 years from now if we don't start taking serious action.
I think if you want to ensure that the next 100 years are much better than the previous 100 years, we must take some really bold steps. And one of the boldest steps we can do is to go eventually towards a zero nuclear weapon world. But long before we get there, come on, let's cut the numbers down.
I'd really like to see us get globalization right. And for me, getting globalization right wouldn't mean that we have stuff from every corner of the world, but would mean that we have people and ideas and opportunities and solutions from every corner of the world.
Gender equality, achieving gender equality will probably take a century to achieve that, because this is not something which is going to be won very quickly. It has taken 100 years to get women votes. I suppose another 100 years probably to get complete equality.
There are a number of things that I think, background things that I think it would be interesting to try and figure out as a human community over the next 100 years. One is something that's, I think, very much in our minds at the moment, but probably will continue to be for a while, which is how to make democracies work better. At the moment, the advanced democracies are actually not doing a terrifically good job of dealing with some of the major problems that face them.
I think this very long-term vision is difficult to encompass, particularly when we look at issues which will very dramatically change the world in which we operate, population growth and so on. But if I had to choose one issue that I think would be profoundly transformative, again, I would root it in the pursuit of equality, and particularly gender equality.
I want to see a moral and spiritual awakening that is, and I think it absolutely has to be interfaith. And that's a real frontier, moral and spiritual frontier for humanity. That you know, Islam is not going to triumph over Christianity and over all other traditions, nor is Christianity, nor is Buddhism or Hinduism.
To my mind, the key, and I speak religiously, but I think this extends beyond the religious, is human dignity. At the end of the day, economic growth means you take people out of poverty. Medical advance means you take people out of being powerless in the face of incurable disease. All of these things enhance human dignity.